Okay, so we have ATXI on watch. This one was climbing pretty good pre-market here. It's been a little choppy, I'd say, like a little up and down, a little up and down. But it had a really nice move on this climb here. I was watching it since this one back here. We did get a false break, and then we got a climb, and then broke lower, and then it held up, and then this where you get this really clean move. And now it's just sideways in this small little tight range. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this one at the moment, so we'll wait it out and see what we can do. Practically triple topped here so far, so we're gonna have to break that high definitely. Say this is our support around 60. I would even say that's the shift in momentum area. This is a major shift in momentum here though. We'll make it dark pink. This one will just make it average pink. Finish red there. High red volume. 5-minute MACD doesn't look so hot. 10-minute basically broke its high. High is 92 by 89. OCUL, let's hit the scans. Light on volume. BYGG. OCUL is the only other one. I guess that we could have on watch, but way too light on volume, so ATXI it is. This is literally the only other one that we're watching. KPRX maybe? Not really interested in this. ATXI. So it's only ATXI today. That's all we really have. Nothing too good on watch in my opinion. Everything else is kind of dead at the moment. So I'm not rushing to trade something. If there's a good setup on ATXI, sure I'll take it, but let me bring my notes up here actually. There you go. Got my notes up. Well, sheesh. I wasn't really focusing in on ATXI here. I didn't even see this massive move. I was trying to open my nose this whole time. Yikes. I mean, had a spike there. Obviously, nasty wick with it though. It didn't hold or anything. So we already have like choppiness to it. We already have some false breaks. It's not easy to borrow either. So not much I can really do with this stock. It's not super convincing just because it hasn't held. It's basically triple topped. So I'm not really feeling this one too much. So immediate pop, and then along with it, it's immediate rejection. There's 79 and then back to 68. 79, 68. So there's 75, 71. 75, 71. 76, 72, 71. So it's like popping, rejecting, popping, rejecting, popping, rejecting. So it's gonna be hard to do scalps in this. You have to be quick. It's a enter exit type of trade. Let's see, 76, 79. 71 on the bid though. Now it's kind of holding. Now it's not actually rejecting. Still 79, 78. Could get in on this next 5-minute candle. There's 80 now. 88. There's another triple top there. Let's see if we get a massive rejection with it. No, we actually hit 6. Could buy a dip on it, but I'm questioning whether I should wait. It already broke its 5 and 10 minute high. Should I wait for a pullback here to 88? Not a massive break above 6 either. I'll take small size just because it is pretty choppy. If I feel like it's necessary to add, I'll add into the trade. You know what? I didn't even notice this pattern on the 5 minute. So this gives me a little more confidence taking a dip. Looking for a better dip though. Around 6 would be my, I guess, entry. I'm gonna wait for it to pull back. Basically, the move I've seen here was an ascending wedge or ascending triangle breakout. I didn't even realize this was forming here. So 4 to about $6, about a $2 breakout. So far, we've only hit less than $1. I mean, almost $1, I guess, from where we open. I'm gonna have to wait for this to pull back though. I'm not gonna chase it all the way up here. I think it would be a mistake chasing it. It might push further, but the choppiness of the stock, I don't know. You have 2 massive green candles in a row, so that's why I'm not super into it. So let's see if we get a pullback on this one. We broke the 1 minute high. Can we finally pull back? And where is our pullback entry? Around 608, but around 620 as well. I'd want to see a multiple candle pullback maybe. $23. I wish it would have dropped to like 608 or something. That would have been nicer. So if you get a second candle pullback, or it's just gonna keep ripping here. It's gonna keep ripping, I guess. I want to wait for a better pullback than that. I could just chase it, but I don't want to. I don't want to chase it. I think that's exactly what I'd be doing if I got in this high. Could just wait for the next 5 minute candle and wait for a proper pullback on that one. I basically missed this whole right up here though, from 560 to 660, which is a whole dollar a share now. But I think it'd be better to be safer than sorry. So let's see, we got a first doji. We gotta wait for the 1 minute MACD at this point to cross, because that's what it looks like it's doing. Give it time. Not easy to borrow, so can't short it. 620 would, I guess, be our support, but same time, I think this thing can still break lower. I'd prefer if it did get a better pullback, retest those highs later. $24, almost a double bottom. Could buy the dip around 6. I'd feel safer buying it around 6 than buying it here. 25. I need to break 24. There it is. So I'm long there at 634. Pretty high, but it's 44. Selling there at 43. See if I can re-enter here. A massive rip. I should have gotten a lot sooner than that, but I should have got in when it broke that low and I noticed it was holding 18, because that would have been a perfect entry. And now look at this huge spike on this, so I missed this big move here. Let's see, pull back to around 50, potential entry. $59. Wow, look at that. Jesus. See, are we actually gonna get halted here? Yeah, it looks like it. Wow. I thought it was gonna set up in a different formation. I thought it was gonna be a 2 candle pop here, and then the next one's gonna rip. So that's why I didn't take this entry. I should have taken this entry, but I didn't take it just because, like I said, I thought it was gonna form a 2 candle climb and then from there rip. Because I've seen that as a familiar pattern, usually like this one right here, but it'll be 2 green candles, something like this, and then the next one just surges. So that's what I was waiting for here. I was like, I'll just wait till that sets up. I should have entered here though. I mean, that was I guess, kind of obvious entry. I'm so nervous to trade it up here at this point because it's so extended off of VWAP that I'm kind of just it's like a whole dollar's share off of VWAP at this point. So I'm really like it's kind of like trading it here. I knew if I just like let it climb and then I try to trade over here, that's gonna be it. It was gonna reject on me or at least fall or something. So that's why I didn't want to take an entry there, but I took it here, but I wasn't sure how high it could go, especially since it broke its low and then just popped and spiked. I got a bad fill, I'd say, at 634, but I was kind of chasing it at that point. I did think it could go higher, but I wasn't sure exactly where, so I sold for just 10 cents practically. It was actually 9 cents a profit. So I'm only up like 20 something bucks in this huge ride. I just got nervous because it's pretty choppy, I think. Like I think it's kind of weird. It's really strong. It's a strong stock guaranteed, but I think it's kind of just trading weird. Like I wouldn't normally trade this. I feel like I'd get chopped out if I try to be active in this stock. I feel like I get chopped out pretty easily. We're showing a low resumption here, which kind of sucks, but I don't know. At this point, it's kind of hard to say where I should even get in. We do have support around 625. Next support would be, I guess, around this level. But, I mean, if it's resuming low, it's kind of hard to say. And even resuming high here, we have to go for 825. That would be the daily high target. And I'd be going for 885 as well to a push to 10 maybe. So now we're showing a high resumption. It's just I have no supported resistance level, so it's just the basics. I guess we can use this support. 770 is the first major resistance, I guess. And then we got the high of this candle, 825. So 825 first, and then 885 next, before we see a potential push to its 200 here. So it's a really strong stock, but I still think it's a little choppy. Like I said, back here in the beginning, it was just pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. So now it's choosing a side, but now it's just pop, 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 and it's just like no pullback opportunity. That's really like obvious, I guess. So this one wasn't too obvious either. I mean, you get a kind of a pullback, then a false break, and then a pullback, and then you're expecting it to drop around 6, but no, it goes to 618 and starts ripping. So then it's like, okay, like I guess I'll enter here. Entered, and then slows down around 640, retest 630, and then boom, rips through 50. Kind of holds up sideways here. I'm not sure if it's going to be strong enough or it's going to be a false break in this area. Not really sure what it's going to do here, so I don't want to take this trade until it showed we had like a 2 candle climb. Then I was going to take the trade, but this one just ripped. So I mean, I was 1 candle too late on a potential entry. I just thought it was going to do something else. So that was my fault for not looking at that pattern and watching out, or looking out for another pattern. But this one should resume here in about 50 seconds. So we'll see what this wants to do at a resumption. There's resumption. Not as high as it was showing, but that's fine. So we hit our first resistance level here at 770. Straight into another halt. There's no way. Damn. So could have bought anywhere there, but it's pretty extended for me to want to take an entry at this point. Especially with the resumption that it had, that was literally break even, although it was showing a higher resumption at 745. If I had the 745 resumption and then pulled back, I probably would have waited for a 2 candle pullback. If not, I would have bought the dip if it filled that gap. But since it resumed flat, I figured, oh, we might pull back here. It might do a false pop, a false break, and then pull back, and then we can actually see a good setup towards the highs. But now it got halted almost immediately again, so now I'm a little nervous on this. It's getting frustrating. I would say I'm actually getting a little frustrated. I'm missing this whole thing, and I don't want to catch the back end on this move. I mean, I literally am going to be catching the back end at this point. It's not much I can do. So like I said, with this candle here, it's 4 to 6, so basically a 2 candle ride, and this is now 6 to 8, so it's also like a 2 candle ride. And that's where I'm a little nervous, because this was a whole setup on the 5 minutes, an ascending wedge at this point, and then it's basically the same as the open, which would technically be here, but I could just move it down here if I'm being real. Well, if my stupid chart would let me, that'd be great. It looks something like that. So really the whole open here, that spike to this spike, I mean, it's kind of the same. So around 8 would be our first resistance level to end this trend. At the same time though, let me see, at the same time I think it would be back here. I think this makes more sense. But I don't know, we could break this daily high. It's literally right there, 825, and then after that we have 885. So this literally halts again. If it halts again, I won't trade it, because there's no point in chasing it like that high. We don't even have support up in these levels really. Like, it's just every half and whole dollar. but there's no true area of support in terms of candles. So it's just, tons and tons of green, no true resistance areas yet. I don't know where I could buy the dip necessarily. Like maybe it's gonna rip through the half dollars, rip through the whole dollars, like nothing. So I don't want to push my luck and just trying to buy a dip. Let's see, we got this would technically be our new support around this level, 710, so 7 flat almost. And now we have 8 as a resistance, and then we have the half dollar here. So I'll put a line at the half dollar. Mm, that kind of sucks. I can't edit the style. But we got, let's see, it's pretty much red up here. So the more resistance, the darker the color I put, I guess. So around 8, which is, that's where it's kind of showing resumption. I guess it would be like right here. We could put a red, so high resistance there. Less, and then green is basically buy. Blue is like, okay, it's already deep in it. And then shift the momentum's down here. That's kind of how I'm thinking of it when I label them. Same time, I'm not trying to get the whole rainbow scene going on here. I just realized it looks like I'm just making colors on my on my chart here. So let's see what this wants to do on resumption. I just do have these lines here. We'll see if they retest it or what, in terms of being a support or resistance area. So it's hard to say, but we'll find out here shortly. So about 10 seconds left. 8 on resumption. Let's see where it actually resumes. Let's see, there's resumption, resumed higher than 8 actually. We get that gap fill down. So wow, look at that, straight into another halt. Broke both of its highs here. Oh wow, look at that, flash back down to 30. Sheesh. That's where it's getting real risky to take an entry. No pullback yet. I was hoping it was gonna get this gap fill here. That's a break at 9. Resistance at 9. No break yet. Hidden seller at 9, it seems. Let's break a 50 maybe. Yes. Gap fill at this high here. High is 82. We have a doji on its 5-minute now. Unless it holds here, then cool, but so could have bought the dip there at 30. Here's 9 again. Retest a 9. No break yet. It's so risky buying this high though. That's why I'm not really. I'm pissed that I'm missing all this momentum here. I'm missing this entire move, but it's not pulling back at all. So I'm kind of like, I feel like if I just take it, then I'm chasing it. There's a pop to 50. Look at that. That's such a huge move right there. Low of 825 all the way to 950. Might get halted here too. Yep. That's just insane. False halt maybe. Nope. That's just so crazy. I can't feel comfortable taking this one. Like, yes, it had a pullback, but I mean, you saw it go from 9 to 830, like immediately, 70 cents of a drop, like right away. I could have bought this dip. I mean, it had higher lows, but I thought, like I said twice already, I thought this was gonna gap fill here around this high of 82. If it gap filled, I would have bought that dip and for sure try to ride this thing all the way up. But if anything, it could have been the $half here at 750 is where I would have bought. It's just now this thing's getting so extended, it's not even worth trying to trade, especially on emotions at this point because I'm getting FOMO. I'm feeling FOMO like really bad. Look at this. Look where I entered. Literally the bottom of this trade, all the way to 950. We're coming up to 1050. It's first major resistance at the 200. That was practically my goal, but it's just halt, halt, hesitation, halt up. That's such a massive spike, and I'm, like I said, I'm getting frustrated because I've missed this entire ride up. I don't want to buy these moves here because it's so extended. I'm waiting for a proper pullback, a proper setup, and not trying to risk the account on a gamble, I guess. Maybe there's obvious moves here that I'm just not seeing, but I feel like I gotta be real careful. Like, for example, this one, in hindsight now, is pretty obvious, but like I said, I was waiting for that proper setup with the two candle climb, but I mean, it got halted without me, so I mean, that's all I can really say about it. This one should have been a trade I should have taken. That I should have taken this trade here, but the rest of them, I mean, I could have taken this entry, but like I said, I wanted this gap fill. Could have taken this entry here, looking for that thing to pop, but I wanted this gap fill. So the whole time I was waiting for this gap fill, and then especially with the doji that it had, I figured, okay, well, it couldn't hold this level at all. We had a massive seller at 9. I didn't expect this thing to just boom rip from 25 all the way to 950. Um, since it was on its climb all the way back up to 9, I guess I could have been another entry for a retest to 9. I could have got in at 860, 870 for a retest to 9, which I mean we probably would have broken, which we actually did break, just because it was retesting that high. I didn't think we were gonna double top with that amount of strength, but I didn't want to take it and then get another flush like it had over here where we retest 9, maybe it breaks by 2 cents and then drops all the way to 830 again. That would have sucked. So that's why I didn't want to take that trade either. It's just too risky of a trade to take for me, I think, on this account. So that's why I think it's just better to wait the sidelines, wait for a proper setup or a proper pullback. It's cool to see this thing ripping, but it sucks at the same time because there's literally nothing I can do in terms of this whole move. Like, now it's gonna finish in a doji. I'm thinking this next 5 and 10 minutes probably gonna break its high, hit 10, or hit 1050, maybe 1060 around its 200, and then it's gonna just start pulling back way too much after that. So I don't know. It's really hard to say. I'm getting nervous on this thing, and I don't know if it's just worth a watch and reattempt on a trade like on the back end, like if I should study this and see where I could have got in or what. But I don't know. We're having a flat resumption. It's looking like 958. We got halted at 957, so it wasn't when I went into the halt, it didn't look like it was a really confident halt, just because there was a lot of sellers that were selling out basically at the top. It was declining before it got halted, so it looks like everybody's trying to take profits up here, and I really don't want to catch the back end of this move. I want to see a proper pullback, proper formation, everything like that, before I take another entry, because I know once I trade the back end, that's kind of it. It's not an easy to borrow stock either, so I can't even short it. But I know if I'm trading the back end where it's pulling back and then actually changing, it's shifting momentum to the downside, then it's just like kind of done for me. I don't know. Huge move on ATXI today. Just missed out on the whole thing, but I mean that's my fault. It's just too risky for me to trade in this range here. Like, I don't want to trade it all the way up here. This one, like I said, I could have traded this back here. I think I even could have traded this back here, like all this. So these two sets of trades I've missed out on. The only one I got was this one. I didn't want to chase it up here. Hindsight, now it looks like a tiny move, but so immediately halted down here. Yikes. So that's what I don't want to be in on. It's something like this. I'm not too surprised. Like I'm kind of glad that it did get halted down instead of actually no, I'm not. I'm lying. I wish it would have broke this high, maybe false break and then kind of consolidated 959, sideways consolidated and then retest to climb to the 10 and break its 10 high or break its high on 10 and then from there possibly see a rip to 1050. So now what do we do in this situation? It's halted down. Gotta think about what we can do on resumption here. What is it gonna do? Is it gonna? Oh, it's gonna resume lower around 8. But should I wait for it to fill this gap here at 8 or 782, and then buy that dip, and then possibly see it reclaim and fill this gap up here with the low of 861? So that would be a pretty nice trade. Let me see, a gap fill of 82. So you got 82 to 60. That's a pretty good move. That's an 80-cent move, almost $1 a share there. 300 shares. I mean, that's a good size, but if it doesn't work as a break it or bailout situation, I really got to be careful here. 8 is technically our support based on these two candles here. So if it does break that support, I mean, it might just retest 8 and then break lower and continue on its downtrend. Come closer to VWAP. It might just have a huge spike here, and that's kind of it. But if it does what I'm hoping it does, which is open at 8, fill this gap, buy the dip, fill this gap up here, and then sideways consolidate, and then slowly climb. I'm assuming form another triangle or something on the 5-minute after a while, and then from there break out through 950 over 10. If we could see that slow climb after this halt going down, then I mean it won't be so bad. But if this just gets halted going down a second time, then we got problems. Like that's where it's gonna look pretty bad. So that'll be my goal, I guess, on this so far. That'll be the idea, to buy around this gap fill. This is risky. If I'm being honest, it's not something I should do. I should wait for it to settle out and form its next formation. But I want to try the gap fill here of 82 and see if that can get me anywhere. But again, it's going to be below our support, so that's where I'm kind of like I could just be catching a flush through that level. 750 would technically be a $0.50 support line, or I guess like a mental support. So we could try that as well. But which one I really want to get in on, I'm not too sure yet. Knowing how strong this stock is, I think it could hold support and actually start ripping back up and fill this gap. If it's actually going to open at 804, 805, I think we can actually fill this gap to 860 if it's that strong. But like I said, if I'm catching the back end at this point, which I'm pretty sure I am, then this is just going to be a really sloppy trade. So we'll see. We'll keep a tight stop on it. We got about 20 more seconds, 25 more seconds. We'll see what this wants to do. Oh shoot, didn't mean to do that. Now if it opens low and then fills this gap and then breaks lower, then obviously I'm not gonna be taking that trade. So we'll see. 813 resumption. No resumption. Okay, so it's gonna be a 10-minute halt, I guess. But it's showing a higher resumption. That's weird. Well, that's kind of annoying. It's a higher resumption and it's also a 10-minute halt. That kind of sucks. 825 now. So I could buy support around 8. Honestly, I would still rather wait for this to break and fill that gap on 75. I mean, 82. But I feel like the lower it resumes, the better, just because I think this thing could bounce and rip. So if it opened at, let's just say 780, where I'm talking about, I think this thing could pull back maybe 770, and then from there rip all the way back up through 8, all the way to 860. Fill that gap, sideways consolidate around 8, and then slowly find a climb to 9 and break through 9, retest of 10. I think that's what could happen here, but with this high resumption, I'm kind of a little nervous on it. I don't like that it's resuming higher, because now that changes my strategy. Now I kind of feel buying around 8 would be the better move, especially since that's our support. But if it doesn't break through, I mean, if it breaks through 8, we could definitely see this fill that gap to 72. That's a 30-cent drop right away. I mean, to 82, 20-cent drop, my bad. So from 8, it can break and instantly, hit that gap fill to 82. And that's where I'm a little nervous. So, I mean, I'll be taking a 20-cent loss almost immediately on that. And that's if it stops there. I mean, it could just hit 750 and then I'm totally screwed. It's a 50-cent loss, 300 shares, $150 just gone right there. I have a small like $20 cushion on this thing. So to be buying the back end this far, it's not really worth the risk. I don't think I should trade it. Honestly, I don't think I should trade it, but let's see. Let's look at my rules. We'll bring our rules up again. So one of the things I am consistently doing wrong is buying the dip. That's already one that I'm breaking. Spreads aren't big on this one. Respecting and well, just resistance and support levels. So like I said, there's no clear support besides 8s that I've already drawn out. There's no clear pattern, so that's another mistake I'm making. Not low volume. Not taking a large share size, and I'm not over trading. So we're running into 2 issues at the moment. But let's see things I can improve on. Have a smaller profit target. I mean, that kind of conflicts with this one. Larger size, smaller P&L. I'm not taking larger size. It's too choppy to try and do that. Breaker bailout, so we can definitely use that here. And having waiting for a clear setup. So these two are both telling me, hey, I should probably be doing that. So I could wait it out and see what happens instead of actually just trying to buy this dip. Because as I mentioned in my notes, that seems to be something I'm doing wrong consistently. So we'll wait it out. That's what I'll do. I'll wait it out and I'll see what this wants to do. See where this gets us. But we do have other stocks popping up. Let's go check them out real quick. RNA in the scans. Choppy, low volume. INM. This is one we traded the other day. This one doesn't look so bad actually for a break of 8. Spreads are a little bigger. Has a little more obvious of a setup at this point compared to ATXI, but INM is right at its 20 and 50 EMA. Could get a 5-minute or a 1-minute high break on this next 1-minute candle that's going to open, but a little choppy. Spreads are pretty big, 10 cents. I don't think it's worth. Just go ahead and wait on ATXI. I'll wait for INM to get more volume in, or at least have the spreads tighten up. It's a little choppy. I'm immediately down $30 if I take it. So, well, actually 40 because commission. But let's see. We have 25 seconds left on ATXI. We'll see what this is gonna do. And I guess I'll just wait it out. I could, like I said, I could buy support. Guess I'll just wait it out because this is our first pullback after such a massive climb here. A $3.50 climb practically. So after this massive climb and we only have not even barely $1 of a pullback, I don't know. So there's 8. Didn't show 8 on the ask though. We got the gap fill here. Now we're coming back down to 8. 8.15. Kind of hovering around 8. I think it's gonna break lower here. Break through 8, fill that gap to 82. 13, not quite. Next 1 minute resumption here. Still has time to fill that gap. 38, can we break through 8? This is gonna pop here. 24, can we get the break of 8? Right there. I only saw 91, didn't necessarily fill it entirely, but it did fill it to an extent. So I could buy around 8 again after its pullback here. So it's popping up to 830. I get a better entry around 8. I'm going to take a long here at 818. I'm going to look for this to break this high through 850. 816 actually is where I'm filled. So let's see what this next 1 minute wants to do. It's holding up above 8 around our support line. Get the break of 850. Selling there at 43 if I can. Stopping out. 4-cent move there. 4-cent move basically. So false break. I was trying to sell around 44, but didn't get it. So it's basically a break-even trade, that one. I was really hoping it could break 850. We hit 44. I tried to sell at 43, I think, and obviously I got no fill. I should have hit the bid right away. But I figured since it was holding 8 several times, we had a little more strength to it. It was kind of bottoming out here. So good fill at 816. I thought I got fill at 818. And it was a really good trade. That was actually pretty profitable. I just couldn't sell out fast enough. Or I couldn't get filled on my exit. So from 16 to 43, I mean, that was a pretty good 20 something cent move, I think. So let's see, it's still holding above 8. Still above 8 to an extent. Let's see, its 5 minute is finishing relatively high. We're on a 10 minute doji, but or not doji, we're on a 10 minute red candle so far, but this looks like it's forming a triangle formation here, so that's where I'm a little nervous. So let's see if this can finish high here. We can go for the retest of 850. I have to take a dip around 20 something though and get that pullback here, and not quite. It's 850. Probably gonna be a false break, I'm assuming. Broke its 1 minute high already. 53. So no tremendous breakout here. Back below 50. 61. 35. So false break. We're gonna break through 8 here. Spreads are actually getting bigger, so I really do need to be careful if I'm gonna take any trade here. I don't think it would be a good idea though. We are kind of channeling. We're breaking out of this triangle pattern, false break, and we are opening low on this next 1 minute, so we could just break down below 8 and start a downtrend. This could be just a bear flag before we actually see its move back lower. So See if we get the break at 8. There it is. There's a gap fill entirely there. 82 on the bid. So we did get the gap fill completely now. But let's see if this can pop up. We already have a type of bear flag at this point. If it continues down to 750, we can possibly see this spike back up around 8, retest 8, and then pull back again. Start coming closer to VWAP. But if this can recover here, if this comes back above 8s and recovers to around 825, especially 850, sheesh, that would be massive. But right now, it's still holding below 8 pretty well. I'm not going to trade it down here. It's 780, 770 now. Dips are getting bought up, 770 all the way back to 790 on the ask. 770 here. We're going to get halted going down. So retest of 750 practically, 739. So perfect bear flag at this point. And now they're coming back down here to, it broke 750 there. Broke that resistance. Now 732 is the halt level. Let's see if we can get this push down to the halt. So not quite. It's still holding here. We could get long in anticipation of the high break, but I think it's going to be too risky at this point. We have somewhat increasing red volume here, so that's why I'm a little nervous to get this thing in on this low here of retest, because my target would have to be practically close to 8.40 cents. But if this thing false breaks and then flushes down on me, or if it just straight up flushes down, then I'm screwed. So it's not worth a risk with the halt level being right there. Could still keep breaking lower, but see if I took an entry at 61. Lows 42. So it's holding here, but it's kind of forming a triangle formation on the smaller time frame, I'm pretty sure. So it's holding within this candle. It's an inside candle, but I still think it's going to break lower. It's finishing relatively low there. Let's see if we get the break of 55. Or get the break of this low of 50. Not quite. We actually broke its high, so there's 71. We're going to have a false break to the downside. This is our second bull flag, I guess, technically. I mean, bear flag, bear flag. Jesus. And by the time this thing actually makes a move to where I want to trade it, I think it's going to be a while. So let's see, we're gonna push to 8 here again. We're actually coming really close. I'm surprised this isn't, I mean, it's flagging here, bear flag, but it's still holding up close to 8. So we might get a push back above this 820 high. That'd be pretty impressive. But if this thing flushes down to 50, there's 50, and then breaks 50, especially breaks this low here, 42, we can probably see this push even further, closer to 7. So no, look at that. Wow, look at that. Retest to 8. So now we have a lot of support. There's, wow, look at that. Right into its halt. That's insane. So I could buy dips around 8. Support is now around 8. See if I can get the ass to come that low. Gotta be quick on this. Actually, it's getting halted going up. See if it's a false halt. Decreasing bid there, but false halt up. See if we can get a pullback here. Not quite. It's just gonna get halted again. Maybe there's 33, 32, 20. 29 is the lowest I'd seen this thing go. I could buy 29, but pretty risky. Nice. All level moves. Now we have a lot more room. 1 minute MACD's curling. Gotta be careful here though. 850. There's a lot of resistance at 850 here, so we do know that's a resistance level. I could get on this next 1 minute. 860 now, 70. I want to push my luck, get into this halt level now. We're gonna get halted here. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get halted, I guess. So I'll wait it out. That was a nice recovery. I was really hoping to buy a low around 8. The lowest I've seen it go was 29, which wasn't low enough to me. The bid was showing, what, 22? So I didn't want this to hit 8, flush below 8, and then I could have got a better entry there, and then it was spiked up again. But this one's tricky to trade. I mean, a nice cup formation here. I was just waiting for that handle and then a ride back up. So now we're getting that retest. It broke lower. It obviously just spiked above 750 all the way to 8. Rejected back to 750, and then boom, ripped through 8 again, straight into its halt. There was like, I don't even know, someone punched a massive order into that halt level like right away. And then yes, I could have bought the dip around 829. It was really quick. I had to be super fast, but realistically I probably would have got filled around 35, 38, around this high here, which to me was just a little too risky, just because of how much it was resisting 50 there for a second. It was just 50, 50, 50, and then rejecting. So I didn't really want to buy in. I was actually hoping it would hold around 50 for the next 1 minute, which was going to open in about like 10 more seconds. Then it actually got halted in this same candle, and that's where I was like, I missed that opportunity as well. So I just saw the resistance here around 850, so we do know that this is a major resistance level, and now we have free range practically all the way up to 950. So we don't have really any resistance level until 950 again. From there we should be good, but I don't know, double bottom on both 5 and 10 minute, which I didn't notice. I actually didn't notice that. It's practically a double bottom. I don't think it's exact. Low 42, low is 50. So no, not exact, but still. And I wanted to get in because this 1 minute MACD curl was happening, and I wanted to get in closer to 8. I didn't want to get in so high around 38 or something for it to just break lower on me. I don't want to really hold into any halts anyways on the stock, just because it's showing an 865 resumption. I mean, we saw what happened here, but it did get halted up 3 different times, and we saw what happened there as well. So I can't really say, it seems necessarily a bad stock getting halted going up, but it is false break prone, I guess I could say. INM also got halted actually. INM's about to get halted again. So INM got halted going down, I guess. It's just spready, choppy. That's weird. It showed the ask at 64, the bid at 69 for a second. RACB hitting the scans. Not sure why. APRN hitting the scans. Former run as well. This one is easy to borrow too. ILAG. GROV. It's another former runner. Doesn't look so bad on this 1 minute here. Kind of flagging. APRN still hitting the scans, making new highs. But ATXI is the one that really having all the attention today. So around 27.12 is where we can see resumption. My target again would probably be the high of 750 and then a break all the way to 10, a retest at 10. But it would be pretty extended, so I need to buy a dip around support if we can get one. Kind of hard to say where support's at. I mean, our major support's around 8. That's really our major support. Other than that, I mean, we have 9 and 850. But it's showing a low resumption, so we'll see if this is going to be a false break or what it's going to do. 5 minute MACD is coming to, a close here, but at the same time, if it recovers, we can see a curl and a retest. And it's looking pretty good, if I'm being honest, towards a retest of 950. But I think it would be best if this actually got halted going up like right away, and then we get a pullback, like a kind of, I guess, like a sideways consolidation type of pullback like this one, at the highs for a retest of 10 and then a break to 1050. But we do have a massive climb here once more. False break to the downside, held up. So another bear flag, but rejection and false break to the downside. Then boom, massive surge up. I should have bought this dip anywhere here, really. But I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable buying it there. Let's see, we got about 12 more seconds. We can watch what this is going to do. Unless it's a 10-minute halt, we'll see what it wants to do on resumption here. 79 resumption, 90 resumption. So resume there at 90. No pullback, broke 9, back to 920. Straight to 950. Halt levels at 79. Straight into another halt. So 950 is really a support at this point. We need that halt level to move. I think it moved already. That massive drop. It's so hard to want to buy this. Breaking down to 50 now. Buying the dip there at 50. Not breaking fast enough, sold for a loss there. Trying to get in, well, try to get in at 43. We're having a little resistance here at 50. Back in at 42. Selling there for a loss, 38. Long again at 42. Not quite. No fill. So that's what I was looking for, was that's exactly what I was trying to go for right there. That pop just, it never made that pop. That's why I bought in 2 times that same candle. I was looking for that exact pop right there. That sucks. 2 times, just too early on the stock, I guess. Just too early on the move. I don't really know what else to say. Now it's hit its 200 here. That just put me red. That definitely just put me red. So 54, that's a 10-cent loss, and then right here another 4-cent loss. Literally the entire move I made today. So 4-cent gain and then 9-cent gain, all crushed on this 10-cent loss, 4-cent loss. So now I'm definitely red on the day. And like I said, that just sucks. That was actually the move I was waiting for. I was waiting for that break. It was holding 40, holding 40, holding 40. Then it break lower. It's a quick pop or a quick snap down to 20, then quick snap down to 30, whatever. And I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna cut it. It's break out or bailout. Like I can't hold it here. But nah, like I just couldn't do it. That sucks. That just, and then like I said, right when I sold, after I sold, then it did it. So hit our 200 there, mission complete basically. Now we're getting a massive red candle with it. That was stressful. And that's really unfortunate that happened. It broke out seconds after I got in. That's just unfortunate. Had the right idea, but I guess I was just too early. I would say I would have to argue nice stops. You know, I did hit the bid when I needed to. Didn't let it go over 15 cents of a stop. But now we're getting Halt going down here. Hit our target, basically 10. And or 10.50, I mean. But like I said, I missed that whole move. That was $1 a share. That was $1 a share I was in on, and I didn't make that. That's just really unfortunate. Could get in again for retest of the high. Spreads are kind of big at this point, so no. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna wrap it up. That's just down 50 bucks. Sheesh, man. That's so annoying. It's so unfortunate. All because of the fees too. $42 in fees, $6 of a real loss there. So it's so hard. So hard making a move at this point because it's just. I mean, like I said, I had the right idea. I had a tight stop on it. I didn't want to get caught in a flush all the way back down below 9. Just the way it was chopping around, chopping. I had to keep a tight stop on it. Took 2 trades back to back. I'd seen it once. I seen green. You know, I'd seen green hit 950, 950, 950. I was like, okay, we're gonna break this level. It's gonna happen. But I mean, I tried to get in, and just it wasn't breaking. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be a false break, I assume. Nah, it ended up spiking just seconds later. That's just so unfortunate. So, okay, I'm just gonna wrap it up here with a $47 loss, $48 loss really. And that's gonna be it for me. I missed so many moves, but I gotta go back and review. Now that we know that this is basically a strong day, this is a huge formation on its 1 minute. Really nice formation on both its 10-minute, 5-minute, whatever. But it's really strong, just choppy, I would say. Now it's spready. It wasn't spready before, but capitalized on one good move back here. Didn't get the full move though, and then couldn't capitalize on it right after. I didn't want to chase it through these halts. I didn't want to buy this dip. I was expecting a gap fill, but it was way too strong. I just kept shooting. Choppy though. I mean, you obviously see this huge wick and then just a massive rip right after. And rejection, pulled back, tried to buy that dip, was holding support. It worked out, didn't sell fast enough, tried to get rid of it at 43, wasn't filled there. I would have been profitable if I actually got that trade in, and it was profitable, but obviously not. Pulled back, and then you get a second bear flag here, and then from here I try to buy. Well, I didn't try to buy the low. It would have been nice to buy that low if I realized on the 5-minute that it was a double bottom. I didn't know at the time though. I didn't see it, and then boom, massive rip. Should have bought this dip here around 38. That would have been perfect. Another massive rip here. Try to get in on this candle in anticipation of the break of 10, especially 950, but the break of 10, I thought I had the potential to do it, and that was overall my target, 1060. We ended up getting a high here of 1046, so close, super close to his 200. And now we're getting another bear flag here, looks like, for another pullback. It's just so unfortunate, like I said. So unfortunate I didn't get this dollar share move in. That's just two quick losers back to back. And that was kind of it. And that put me break even, basically red on the day due to commission. Commissions suck. I see everybody on TOS. Oh man, that pisses me off. I see everyone on TOS and they're making like quick trades, 1 cent trades, and they're profitable. 2 cent trades are profitable, and I'm like, dude, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could just get a quick little buy sell, right? And then that's it. You're racking up dough. I know I think there is commission though, because I do have some sort of fee. Like, I do get fees on there when I trade options, but sheesh, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. It's just kind of crazy though that this is going on. Like, these fees are just killing me. like I said, majority of my loss is usually because of the fees. I'm break even, but I have like 200 in fees, and that's kind of it. So whatever. It's too bad ATXI was not easy to borrow. I would have been shorting it in several places. Like this bear flag here, could have shorted that. That would have been a good trade. There's a bear flag here, but if it holds up, continues to hold up, I think it's gonna be a false break to the high side. Um, you could enter for a short there again, but even at its 200 up here, I think I would have taken that short at its 200 because I mean it literally hit its 200, which was my target, major resistance there, and then boom, just sold off right away. That would have been a huge trade. But obviously it's not easy to borrow, so I can't get in on it. But see what it's doing here. It's holding up, holding up, holding up, and it's actually doing pretty well. But if it retests 10, that'd be insane. So we get our first breakdown. Push to 9 would be best. 911, 903. Next 1 minute open. So a nice bear flag formation here. Not quite the break of 9. 9 is our new support, I guess. We can definitely move this bar up. Move this one up, and we'll add another bar here. Add this as support. We'll mark this one green. Or not. Okay, I guess my charts and stuff don't want to mark it green. That's cool. This could retest. If it continues holding here, this could retest. Break a 960 and a push to 1020 maybe. It's still holding within this range, which I mean the 5 minute looks really good if it continues doing so. I might just get in for the next 5 minute, but I gotta be careful. You have a massive wick here, and then it's finishing low. If it finishes low on the 5 minute, then nah, it's probably not a good idea. You have one bear flag, and then you're kind of forming a second one here for a retest at the break of 9 is what it's looking like. 5 minutes, 5 minute MACD's coming to a close too, so that's where I'm a little like, Look at that, wow. Immediately surges right there. So straight into another halt. That's insane. Crazy. So halted up again. And I was waiting for this to channel out and actually do what it needed to do, but halted again. That's crazy. This stock's insane. I want to see what it's going to do on resumption. I already have to leave for work, but I want to see what it's going to do on resumption at this point. That was so quick. I'm not even sure if I would have got him filled anywhere in between. I mean, it broke through 960, immediately hit 10. So that's kind of just crazy. Man. Yikes, it's showing a 985 resumption. That's gonna be a tough one. Showed 950 for a second too. That's gonna be a tough one. It's holding into a halt on this stock's so risky. Look at that. Now it's showing 1040, 1080. Sheesh, it's it's hard to say whether it's something I want to do or not, and then you can get an immediate flush, boom. So, man, and this one candle here was 920 to 1030. That's over $1 share already. This drop here alone was also over $1 share, high of 1050 to 890. So that was like a whole $1.60 almost, $1.50. But this one's I drew the line way too late on it, I think. I shouldn't I just seen it right now, this climb. Wasn't really respecting this though, like it should actually be lower down here. For the most part where I have it like now, you could definitely tell that this is actually hitting that low, but like I really think it should have been closer to here. Something like that. That would have made more sense to me. But I mean, it took off way too early. If it pulled back, hit this low, and then surged like that, I would definitely understand. But I mean, it makes sense up there as well. I'm not gonna argue that this doesn't make sense either. It was kind of flagging here. It was an inside candle as well. Seems like almost every time there's an inside candle on this one, it actually makes that massive pop. So you have an inside candle here, red, and then inside green, and you see this massive climb. And then you have another one, red, and then you have an inside green, makes a climb, rejection, red, and then green, and then you see a massive climb again. So an inside green after a red, I mean, I guess that's bullish. That's a candlestick pattern that I didn't know about, I guess. I have to look into this one. Let me double check on my candlestick patterns here just to verify. Okay, I found it here. Apparently it's called a bullish harami. I'm gonna have to look into that one. So major red on a downtrend, and then a small inside green candle. So we do have red downtrend, inside green candle, rip. Red downtrend, massive red downtrend, green candle pushed up higher, massive red downtrend, inside green candle pushed up like crazy high there. Or at least it would have been this little range. It's still something. So, okay, I did not know that. We'll go ahead and be on the lookout for those then. Bearish harami. Bullish harami. I'm lying. Double check again. I already got it wrong. Yeah, bullish harami. So here's resumption. Yikes. Still, I could buy 10. Could have bought 10 there. I should have bought that dip. I should have bought that dip around 10, 970. I should have bought that one right there. Breaking through its 200 now. 1060 is our support. 1050 really. $10.50 support, could buy $10.50. Too risky down here. Need to see some sideways consolidation on it at least. $10.50, it needs to hold $10.50. It pulled back too much on that candle right there. We're at its 200 as well. It's kind of like, do I really want to risk that? Let's see, let's draw this trend line even higher. Bro, gotta get these things out of here. Resistance levels. Man, this thing is pissing me off straight up. It's completely ruining my charts. 970 would be our new test, our new support. I guess I could buy that 970 dip. You see the break lower here, and we'll try it. Unless it's just gonna completely break trend, then I'm super screwed. If we get the break at 10 here, not quite. 975, somewhere around 970 is gonna be our support. And we can see a pop back up to 1050 or something. We'll see if my trend line actually works. Oof. I think we're finally going to see that change of momentum here. If it can't pop up above 10, I could have bought that dip. The reason I didn't buy it is because I saw 950 by 970, and I did not want to see that. I think we're actually finally going to see a shift in momentum on this 1 minute huge, like this huge 1 minute trend here. You have like a huge flag, basically another big ride up flag, I guess, and then another ride up. And now it's like it's another ride up, but it's smaller every time, it seems. And this one just seems like it's actually going to start breaking lower. False break. If this can hold in this range, I'll probably get long for a retest of this high here of 72. Only thing is the 1 minute MACD is right there. Could get long here at 1020 in anticipation of its break here on 1072. The MACD's crossing on the 1 minute at the moment. It's 32, 37, so it would have been profitable somewhat. Retest of 72 is what I would be looking for. Break of 50 really. There's 49, immediate rejection down 1020 on the bid, 34 on the ask. So now we're getting a false break. There's 1007. I would have had to been really quick on that trade. It's another back end trade that I was thinking of taking actually. So that's kind of the down thing, the downside of me watching the back end or like missing these huge moves. I would be trading just the back end. That's literally what I did here. Try to trade the front end, but I get too scared of, you know, these massive rides up. I don't want to chase it and gamble it. I tried doing that here, and I could have let it ride. I could have given it some time, but I had no true support at the time. Now we have support. We see here that 9 and 950 were basic support, or at least 970, 960. I was buying it in the 40s though. 40s and 30s is where I was selling. But I was expecting that massive rip and just never got it in the beginning of the time frame, or that candle. And then boom, just a massive rip once you hit the 30-second mark, which I was literally in at the 20-second mark. So we're still holding. We're not necessarily making lower lows. These charts are pissing me off straight up. And there's the break of the trend. We did break it slow there. Let's see if we get a push lower down here. A low of 950. 10 minutes ending in a doji. I think that's it for me. 10 minutes ending in a doji, and this could get halted going up again, but at this point, I mean, you could look at it as a massive, massive ascending wedge here. Like, you could look at it like that. Because technically on the 5 minute, it is forming like an ascending wedge in a way. Right here. Kind of hard to say that's what it's really doing though. Just because of its wick up here. We could get in an attempt to break that. This is a 10-minute low there. This 5-minute candle is 10:49. Gonna get long here at, I don't even know where I'm in at actually. Let's double check. 21. Trying to get out at 20 actually. Let's see if we can get an exit here. Got fill at 20. So 1 cent loss there, $61 loss at this point. Pulls back. Nice exit on my part. I have to say there, that was a nice exit. Risky trade. 10.15. High of this 1-minute candle is 22. 1 cent exit there. 10-cent commission, 3-cent loss, and $30 loss. So from $48 to $61, what I'm down now. Could just be making it worse by over trading. But I do love its 5-minute formation here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get long here. 10.18 is where I'm in at. It's 50. Selling that at 50. Got out there. Now we're green. So looking for that breakout on its 5-minute. I mean, we got the breakout. I got it there. Now we're green. Whew. That was a good read on the 5-minute, I have to say, or at least this whole huge ascending triangle formation. That's the only reason I was really pressing on this trade. I did come closer to 11, but I mean, I'm taking it at 10.50. That's resistance right there. We didn't even break it. I literally just sold it at 10.50. I think 10.49 actually. Nice entry as well. I timed it perfectly, I'd say, and now we have a rejection with it. So I guess that's a good way to wrap it up. I mean, at least I capitalized on one obvious setup here on its 5-minute. I was able to actually get that move in. Broke its trend. That's what made me hesitant. But after I'd seen that it held up and got the right setup here, then we took that. So that was a really nice trade. 10.18 all the way to 10.45, I guess is where I sold. So nice trade, but that's gonna be it for me. I'm already super late for work. So anyways, with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow.